Yeah, I think without any further ado, I think we can start. So Java is on. Anton Kovalenko, floor is yours. Let's go.
Okay, thank you. And let me introduce myself once again. My name is Anton Kovalenko. I'm a solution architect. I'm working in AWS, actually doing a lot of stuff together with EPAM. And today we're having a topic about, well, at some place where cloud meets Java, but in a bit different way. So mostly developers are developing the code, maybe in Java, maybe in other languages, but we're talking Java today, and then deploying it to the cloud. But today we will be talking about one tool which is actually helping developers, and in this case Java developers, in their day-to-day job. So Amazon Q developer. So we will be talking about AI assistant, uh, about code assistance helping in a day-to-day job. And let me jump directly to our today's agenda. So first of all, I will give a short intro. I will speak a bit about Q developer, about a bit more about Q itself, like umbrella service. I will talk also about the place of these services in overall AWS AIML ecosystem. Then we will go deeper to the Q developer. I will give you an overview. I will also cover some timelines, state of the market, and capabilities of the Q developer. And then we will dive deeper, even deeper to the some particular capability related to Java, so agent for Java code transformation. And for sure, I will save some time in the end for the Q&A session. But still, we're also expecting some demo today. So, first of all, about AML stack of AWS. Maybe if you were joining some of AWS events and seeing these intro slides about our overall stack, you may see that we're having some layers about this, but actually this is a specific slide for generative AI stack. So, and we can see that on the bottom, we're still having all of our capabilities like EC2 instances, GPUs, our specific silicons like Trainium and Inferentia. We're having orchestration services for MLOps like SageMaker and so on and so forth. Network things like Fabric Adapter, Neuron, Nitro, and so on and so forth. If we're going a bit on the higher level, like closer to service, we're having Amazon Bedrock where we're having lots of models, lots of foundational models from various vendors, both our home models developed by AWS and developed by other companies like Anthropic, like here, or Stable Diffusion, available with APIs and having some additional sugar like agents and so on and so forth. And on the higher level, we're having already applications which are using foundational models, and actually all these services are existing under like single umbrella, which is called Q, Amazon Q. And under Amazon Q, we're having several services. So I'm just here setting the stage. So we're having Amazon Q Business, specific service allowing you to integrate foundational models with your internal business systems. There are some embedded capabilities like Amazon Q Connect, QuickSight, and supply chain. So with the specific things like Connect is a uh, call center solution, QuickSight, BI solution, supply chain specific for logistics. And actually, jumping in, but our topic today is Amazon Q Developer, which is a generative AI powered coding assistant. And actually, one more thing. Back in 2023, Gartner said that more than 80% of enterprises will start use generative AI APIs or use applications by 2026. And what we are seeing today, so I'm personally working a lot with Amazon Q in various flavors, and I see the huge interest about that, and actually working a lot with the Q developer, and want to share something today with you about this. So about Amazon Q developer. So Amazon Q Developer is actually coding assistant tool, which is also available in several flavors, um, which is giving you several capabilities like helping to write a code, explaining the code, and actually saving some time. Like actually, it is a additional tool in on your belt when you are creating the software. So you know that good ID. Yeah, we like good IDs. It's lots of plugins we may like to have. Um, I know smart auto completion. We might need to have inline testing. We may like to have code styling tools, and so on and so forth. And Amazon Q Developer actually adding to all of this and lots of developer use cases, uh, artificial intelligence and machine learning capabilities. So, and first of all, where you can find Amazon Q Developer. Uh, and here, first of all, for sure, it is available for IDEs. It is available for JetBrains IDEs suite, and it is available for Visual Studio Code as a separate plugin. You may remember that some time ago, until April this year, it was available as a part of AWS Toolkit plugin. Nowadays, it is a separate plugin called Amazon Q, which is available in the marketplace, so which you can install inside your ID. But actually, when you're seeing the logo of the Q, so let me jump back. This logo, you may see it also in Management Console, and in Management Console, it also can help you with resources, with working with AWS resources from inside Management Console. So in the chat mode, you can ask questions about your resources, find significant insights, or even troubleshoot, for example, networks. So and also it is available. You know that we're having specific developer oriented service which is called Code Catalyst. So also interesting thing. Maybe we will find time to cover it on, on some other session. But Q Developer also available in Amazon Code Catalyst, and actually you can even assign tasks to Q Developer and ask it to create software for you. So you are just going to the task tracker, creating a task, assigning it to the Q, and then Q just creating a code, creating PR. Then you can go review it, agree with it, or maybe argue, ask Q to elaborate on that, and finally you can merge it and enjoy changes in your system. So and also Amazon Q Developer available in CLI. So you can both in chat mode and auto completion mode. And also it can make a smart suggestions based on your environment. But actually, it is not something we're covering today. But I just wanted to give you a brief picture on what Q Developer could do for you. So okay, and actually, we're having a uh, several like stages of software development lifecycle, starting with the planning. And Amazon Q can support you on the planning phase. For example, in the Management Console, giving you insights about your environment. And also, for example, if you want to understand some code base, you can ask it to explain the code. It can help you creating the code, and actually, it is having couple of capabilities for it. It is inline code generation. It is a development agents. It is a chat mode. And actually, well, just recently, couple of weeks ago, new capability, you can chat in inline mode as well. So chat mode for inline. So this is actually always challenging me to stay in touch with all new capabilities which are available for the Q Developer. Okay, it can generate tests for you. It can perform security scanning and remediation of security issues, and for sure, it can help to troubleshoot errors. for example, in the network in EC2, VPC reachability analyzer also integrating with the Q developer. So all stages of uh, software development lifecycle are supported by Amazon Q. And actually, the last thing, maintain and modernize, is something we will discuss a bit more today, is about the agents, agents for code transformation. Um, but first, okay, couple of uh, words about capabilities itself. So uh, exploring and planning, so you can ask questions to the code. You can ask questions about your environment in AWS. For example, please list me all lambdas with outdated runtime and give me a recommendation on how I can upgrade it. For sure, so you can do that. Uh, for the code creation, you can generate code in line. You can generate code inside the chat. You can ask for refactoring, fixing errors, optimizing the code, and so on. So and also maybe navigate through the code and ask about for the explanation of some particular code parts. There is also the things which are related to customizations. It is very interesting topic. Lots of question about that. There are various ways on how a Q developer could customize to your own code base, starting from customization, centralized customizations, and also with uh, customizations which can run locally, which is called workspace awareness. So you may have some local index of your code base which could be used while code generation in the chat mode. So you can add the keyword like add workspace and then ask questions, and the questions will and your prompt will be enriched with information about your whole code base. So another advanced capability, Amazon Q Developer Agent. Here you are not asking questions about code. You are not generating code with a prompt. You are just giving the Q the idea, what are you expecting from it? And this is actually one of the agents available. Another agent is a code transformation, which we will cover soon in more details. But actually, Q Developer Agent also worth mentioning. So it is available in the chat mode. You can ask Q to generate code to fulfill some particular requirement. So you're not putting create a function for something. You may ask for the particular change for your application. I don't know, introduce the new method in an API and which will do some particular things. And Q, for example, can generate not just a new method in API, maybe new endpoint, also the backend function or container, whatever you are having in your project to fulfill the whole requirement. So this is an agent. Also for the testing and security, you can ask Q to generate unit tests. You can use Q Developer Agent for it for this as well. Actually, I've seen the requirement. Okay, can we generate unit tests for the whole project? You can try Q Developer Agent for this. You can say, okay, generate unit tests for the whole project, and it will elaborate on it, having the context of the whole project. So also you can scan the project for security vulnerabilities, and also just in line have a remediation suggestions to improve security and code quality. So even not deploying your code, not starting any tests, you are having it here in line in your IDE. So, and actually also operate, it is something which is like more available in management console, but you can troubleshoot lambdas, for example, with Amazon queues, analyze network connectivity, and so on. And actually also I've just mentioned about resources and billing. You can ask questions in um, AWS Management Console. Cost Explorer um, support is available in preview at the moment, but still you can ask questions about billing as well. Okay, and that was an intro, frankly speaking. So capabilities of the Amazon Q developer. It was a like some brief explanation of capabilities. Also worth mentioning that this year we've got lots and lots of capabilities introduced. So and also worth mentioning, this year September, Gartner published first magic quadrant for the coding assistant. If you're curious, please go ahead and check, so you can see that okay, so see the challengers, see the leaders, and so on. So so this is meaning that AI assistants becoming a like full-fledged system. It is having their own magic quadrant from Gartner. Another thing, it is having a benchmarks also. I will share the links afterwards in the end of my presentation as well. So about, for example, SWE bench, which is testing various code assistant tools on verified uh, tasks and the code sets, and checking how they are um, performing against like standard tests. But okay, so and now we are going to the Amazon Q developer agent for the code transformation. What is actually standing behind this capability? Uh, okay, we all know, so the magic word legacy. So lots and lots of applications, big applications, were written some time ago, and were written in the actual versions of the language for the time being. But okay, at the moment, teams are supporting it in the current state. There could be a big code base and supporting it, maybe tedious, maybe time consuming, and also upgrading is also is like another big deal to do with it. We all know we always having priority for introducing new features, or maybe fixing bugs, rather than, for example, upgrading the version and improving the posture of your application. But okay, legacy applications in the older language versions, it is also security risk, for example, and so on and so forth. And for this, we all know there is a process of application upgrade. How it's happening from developer perspective? Okay, first of all, developer needs to understand how application is actually working. Maybe check the test coverage to ensure that we all know what is happening in application and how it works. So then, step by step, application may be start changing, or maybe not step by step, because at some point, if you want to upgrade the language version, you need to upgrade significant part of the application, or maybe whole application itself. So and okay, you need to write, you need to review, then try to build, fix the building issues, run test against it, maybe run some manual testing, then return back to research. And this is continuous loop, which is taking a lot of time, which is actually requiring some knowledge about application itself, about older version of language, about newer version of language, and how they're mapping, and what actually is the benefit moving from one version of language to another, how you are replacing the frameworks, how you are upgrading dependencies, and so on and so forth. So, and actually, but okay, transforming is important part. So it is enhancing productivity, because new version means better productivity, more intelligent work, more automated things, and so on and so forth. And sure, from security perspective, because security vulnerabilities are mostly closing in the newer and newer versions of a language itself. And for this, And for this, actually, was introduced the capability. It was introduced in November last year in preview. Is on last reinvent. Actually, I'm looking forward what will be introduced this one, and it was a agent for the code transformation for Java. So briefly, what this thing is doing, it is uh, having capability to upgrade Java from the version 7 or 11 um, to newer versions, and it is giving you I'm sorry, version 8 to 8 and 11 to version 17. So for sure. So uh, cat got my tongue, and actually, and this capability allowing you to do it just from within your IDE with the simple commands. And a bit later, I will show to you how it works. But before that, I will give you some insights on how it was built and what what stages are standing behind this solution. So first of all, okay, you are having some project, for example, in Java 8 or Java 11, and you want to transform it to Java 17. And we're having actually inside AWS, the team which was working on this capability investigated several ways on doing this. You can do it in some algorithmic way, using some knowledge bases, using some rules on how code, one version of code is transforming to another version of code. And also you can use heuristic methods. You can use, okay, for sure, you can use machine learning, maybe even not foundational models, but a bit more straightforward uh, solutions. But actually, in the end, it was found out that the best approach is to combine these methods. So, and here I'm having some diagram which is representing on how transformation works. So first of all, you are having your source code, and when you are running the transform task, Q developer first building and testing your application in a secure environment. So it is uploading your code to the secure environment, and the code is built and tested within existing tests, and it is checking that code is actually building, application is actually working, and tests are also successful. And then it is starting the first iteration of application improvement. It is applying the knowledge base. I will give you some examples a bit further on how knowledge base is applied. So what is knowledge database, where it comes from? Actually, knowledge database is combined and enriched by experience of transforming actual applications. Okay, the significant part of AWS is running on Java, AWS and Amazon. So, and yeah, for sure, we're upgrading our applications as well. Also from open source and so on. And actually, I've heard the number around 200K projects were used to build this knowledge database. So, and this knowledge database is representing the best practices and understanding how some particular code in older Java version is transforming to newer Java version, including not just the code itself, also dependencies, frameworks, modules, and so on and so forth. So first, what is happening is knowledge database is applied to your code. Then we are having the continuous loop of improvement. So Q developer is trying to build the newer version of the of your application, and run tests against it to check if the application works just in the same way. And actually, this is a continuous loop because okay, from the first attempt, application might not build. Actually, it's not building in the majority of situations, and then this is the part where Gen AI coming into place. So Gen AI fixes these errors, and actually, it is not just Gen AI. You see here that on this slide, for the building and testing and error fixing loop, we are not just having the Q and Gen AI itself, but it is also referring to the knowledge base. It is fetching some significant data for this particular situation. So it is also having the smart engine for it and enriching the prompts, going to a foundational model, not just with your code and error explanation, but also with some extraction of the knowledge base. So, and altogether, it is going in a continuous loop and improving step by step your application until it builds successfully and fulfilling the tests. And when it is done, Amazon Q developer returning you like message, okay, I'm ready, and the returning you the package of your upgraded code. So it's like it is looking like a, let's say, merge request. So you can check what files were changed, what was the changes, and actually see the information about like building attempts and results of the like final builds, how it looks like. And then actually you can agree with it, you can maybe add your own fixes, maybe what you are thinking is important for your project. Then you can just I don't know, push the changes to your repo, and it will go through the CI/CD or other ways. Anyway, so you are having your application upgraded. Okay, so and like some brief examples. This is not actually on direct extraction on how Amazon Q is working. It is like just an example, maybe on some particular case where it is giving a suggestion for upgrade for the version of the Jackson core. So Jackson core is a um, famous library to work with the JSONs, so to parse and generate JSONs. So here it is saying, okay, for these particular projects, I'm thinking that you need to upgrade version from this one to this one, and this is one of example. Another example. So it is when some particular package is not available. So in this case, uh, Amazon Q will also suggest a fix. And one more thing, it is not something which is happening and you need to control it and so on. This is happening under the hood. You will just receive the final code package. Or maybe sometimes like an error. There are some particular um, situations where maybe it's too big repo and so on. You can refer to documentation. It is clearly defined there what can be problem of the issue and how you can troubleshoot it. Another example also for version upgrades, and here is also the statement that could be a combination of static scenarios, like static tools, like we just know that we need to upgrade to from this particular version of HTTP client to this particular version, and this is perfectly fine. We don't need maybe to use LLM for it. For some particular cases, we might need to use LLM, and actually it will work faster and like more smart than just replacement. So here we are just having, okay, so exception which will be never thrown, and okay, to fix it, LLM may suggest us just to modify our code in this way. So, and that was a brief explanation of how this thing works. We will jump to the demo in a minute. But also there is a stats. AWS, actually not AWS, Amazon is sharing about Amazon Q developer um, usage inside, so that there is a situation where around 1,000 applications were upgraded in 2 days. Um, and actually, one more figure, which is not on the slide, but which is also significant. It was 5 persons who've done it. And okay, let's finish with the presentation and let's have a short demo. Actually, it is a pre-recorded video because actually I am what I wanted to mention that the code transformation may take some time, so it is like asynchronous task. It is, as I said, it is taking some loop on upgrading and improving your application. That's why actually we're having it pre-recorded, but okay, I'm encouraging you even to test it yourself. Okay, so here
this is a sample project.
Here we're having some project which is called some movie series. And what is it doing? It is actually, we see here that it is in Java 8. And we see that it is building, testing, and so on. And it is returning us some list of movies stored in some data source. So it is a Spring Boot API, once again, written in Java 8. So we are running this application. Application is started, so we can, after that, we can jump to the browser and take a look if application is working. And okay, so yes, it is working. It is running locally. We see that, okay, we're having this API response. And then we're opening Q and starting the transformation with the keyword, which is called transform. And then we're having a transformation hub running. So it is a like queue opening, such a thing. We are selecting our application. We're selecting the target version, which is 17. And in the application hub, we are having information that Amazon Q is scanning our project. It is like uploading our code. So then it is trying to build it. It is testing it. It is creating a plan. And in the plan, it is defining what version will actually, there is a really detailed plan where you can see what will be upgraded to which versions, what dependencies will be upgraded, and so on and so forth. So you are just like taking a look at it. So, and then you see here that there is an like showcase on how it is attempting to build your application and show you and in the end, when build finally successful and tests are finally successful, it is returning you information that okay, transformation is complete for your project. Then you can select ask it to download the code and take a look into the what was actually changed. So you can select it file by file. So for example, if you're going to the movies controller, you may see that there is a Spring upgrade. It should be JUnit upgrades. It should be Mojito updates, and all overall things which were outdated and needs to be updated. So yeah, we see here that JavaX replaced with Jakarta, and so on and so forth. So dependencies, some code samples. Hopefully, I will be able to also share the sample if you're interested to see that. I will check it afterwards. Okay, so, and actually, this is a how our code changed. We can also check POM XML to see on how dependencies changed. Okay, see, we see here the changes in JUnit. So, and actually, also, yeah, also JUnit Spring Runner upgraded as well. So changes in dependencies, it is also all dependencies changed accordingly. So everything what was expected uh, uh, expected to be upgraded. So your system knows all dependencies, everything of this should be installed accordingly. So okay, yeah, we see here Java version is 17 now. And compiler target as well. So good to know. So we are now ready actually to test our application. So next thing, which what we need to change, we need to change the. If we are working from IDE, we need to change the actually configuration of our project. We need to ensure that now our project is working for with uh, Java 17. So yeah, it should be done in a minute. So we are opening the project. We are selecting the new version of Java. So in this case, it should be Java. It should be Coretta 17. So it's Amazon implementation of Java. Then we can try to build it and run tests against that. Our tests are actually also returning the success. Okay, we're seeing that everything works well. And last thing, we want to check that our application is still working, that it is still returning us the list of our free movies. And actually, once again, we're running application. Yes, it is working just as well as it was working before. So that was a brief example on how it works. And actually, jumping to my last slides before our Q&A session, there is a QR to the Q Developer page. You can try Q Developer today. Q Developer is available in two flavors. It is having a free tier, which is available with the AWS Builder ID. AWS Builder ID is having nothing to do with AWS accounts itself. You don't need to have actually AWS account to try Q Developer. Builder ID you can create just connected to some of your emails. And actually, if you are working with AWS and you're interested in, for example, doing certifications, so Builder ID is some place where you are starting your certification path, where you are ordering your certification, and where you will see your actual achievements. And important thing that previously it was you should have Amazon account to do that. Now it is transferred to Builder ID, and if you are planning to certify soon, for example, and you had another certification, first thing it will ask you to transfer to Builder ID, and it will map your achievements there, just for information. But actually, yes, Amazon Q Developer available with a Builder ID. If you can create this Builder ID for free, you can log in when you installing and launching Q Developer inside your RDE. It will ask you for login. It will be two options there: free tier and pro version. And for the pro version, you need to have subscriptions, which is cost $19 per user per month, and it is already having like enterprise capabilities, like single sign-on, bigger quotas for development agents, transformation agents, and so on. But you still are able to try and use Q Developer on a free tier, including the transformation for Java as well. It is only limited for the lines of code you can transform. Please refer to documentation for this case. And actually, that was it from my side. If there are any questions, Roman, please
Yeah,
answer.
yeah. First of all, thank you very much for great talk. So thank you for amazing start of our Java conference, and I want to say that in somewhere in the beginning we have a comment in the chat. So like, how is it related to Java? Like, so okay, so I understand this is about Amazon, but how is it to Java? Guys, I do assume that somewhere in the middle of the talk you understand how it is related to the Java, and you see how it useful could be for you. So I do recommend you try this tool, and yeah, yeah. Again, Anton, thank you very much for your talk. So, coming to the questions, before we start with the questions, let me ask you one from my side. So, not so far ago, somewhere in Twitter, I found a nice question, which is basically, I think, essential one. Guy was asking, like, okay, guys, so I do understand that it's like everybody say upgrade your Java, upgrade your tools, upgrade the libraries, and I do understand there could be some patches, whatever. But what exactly bad could happen if I will not upgrade? So I have my own answer, but question to you, Anton. How can you respond to this question, this kind of question?
Okay, so first of all, it's sarcastic. Maybe nothing gonna happen. You know this. This is a actually I had it. I was working in one development team, and we had this. You know the board with some memes, and you know with a boat when people are sitting and on one side is drowning and the other side is saying okay, problem is not on our side, and another thing was saying okay, we shouldn't upgrade, nothing gonna happen. Okay, okay, first of all, okay, we all know about legacy. And for example, you are having some dependency inside your application, and this dependency is working in some particular version for your particular versional language, which you don't want to upgrade, as I understood you correct, yes? And at some point, the developer of this package or module may say, I'm introducing beautiful new feature. It will work 30 times faster and 20 times cheaper. And but for you, it won't be cheaper because you are having 15 years old application, and at the moment you need to upgrade it, and well, upgrading it may cost you something, maybe significant part of this. And okay, at some point you may say, okay, I won't have these beautiful capabilities, but someone else will have it. You know, things are happening like this. It is, you know, like having an old car. At some point, maintenance fees are becoming way bigger than benefit on like having like benefit from not buying a new car or replacing it with a new car. I don't know if I covered your question. You know, the
Yeah,
answer
sure.
is obvious. You know.
No, I know it is obvious. Like again, I also have my own answer, and it's more or less close to yours one. We can replace this nice library with some feature by some security stuff, which has some fix, and you cannot update it on old version of Java, but can on you. But from time to time, I do see this question appears in different chats. Like people are being asking, like, okay, so like, but why? Why should I do that? So I think it's important to raise this question frequently and say, okay, so what's the point? Okay, so coming to the questions from our audience, I do want to remind you guys that we have several chats where you can post this question. We have chat on YouTube and chat on the community platform. So take a chance to ask questions. So first one was from Oleg, somewhere even in the beginning of the talk.
Mhm.
Can you provide some examples of successful AI applications in Java projects at Amazon, particularly in the context of Amazon Q? Are there any specific libraries or frameworks recommended for such solutions?
Uh, could you please a bit rephrase it? So
Okay,
successful.
so first part is that are there any applications in Amazon with successful integration of AI? I think Amazon Q is one of the
Well,
examples, but the
Amazon
question.
Q, yeah, and actually, what I'm seeing around, lots of people are using it. Maybe I'm a bit like sitting in my own boilerplate, so and always seeing that people are coming to me with the questions about Amazon Q because they are knowing that I can answer. But lots of it, and actually, I would say that starting this year, the amount of questions is growing. One of the examples, Amazon Q. Well, I don't know. You're talking about, if you're talking about Amazon Q, Amazon. I'm sorry, LLM applications. Yeah, so we're not talking about like things like Bedrock, which is just providing you LLM, but Bedrock is still very, very gaining a lot of interest. And also, guys, maybe not about everything I can talk because some
Okay.
applications are internal. But yeah, AI is widely using, and I think in a very, very sometimes surprising applications. So you're not expecting where it could help, but it is still helping.
Okay, okay. Thanks for the response. So another one was from Igor. Does Amazon Q offers features to ensure that Java code compiles with industry security standard like OWASP or others?
Actually, there is a security uh, scanning tool, which is actually scanning your code in accordance to uh, the security best practices. It is applied not only to Java; it might be applied to other languages. As far as I remember, OWASP is covered. I can take it as a I don't know, homework. I may even try to return to you in the chat. But yeah, actually, the security scanning feature is just for it, and it is based actually on the best practices.
Okay, okay, great. Thanks for the response. Okay, question from Raman. Not from me. Another one. As I understand, Amazon Q uploads the whole project for processing. And what about privacy? It's first part of the question. Second part is what if project is huge?
Okay, so it is starting from the end. Please define huge, but still, it is okay. It is having
Mono repo of several
it,
gigabytes. I don't know.
it is having 2 gigs limitation for it. So if you refer to documentation, it is having uh, I always afraid to be wrong. And maybe not all of these limitations I remember by heart, but 2 gigs as far as I remember. Um, First, and what was another one?
Another one. What about privacy? So I think this is the
Oh,
same
private.
part.
Oh,
Yeah.
privacy. Yeah, it's very important. Very important. First of all, yes, your code is uploaded to Amazon Q. Yes, your code. Actually, Amazon Q at the moment is operating only in one region. It is North Virginia, US East One, and your code is uploaded to some service account there, which is not like accessible by anyone, even even you actually. But the code existing there only for the time being of the process. After that it is deleted. And one more thing, it is supporting customer managed keys. And if you are having you can use your own key in the configuration of your Q developer profile. And in this case, okay, this code there could be decrypted only by you. If Even if it is stored there and in the end, I don't know, lost for some reason, which will not happen definitely. But actually, this is the code is yes, code is uploaded there, but it is existing only for the time being. It is not accessible to anyone, and it is deleted immediately after process is finished.
Okay, okay, good to know. Question from our YouTube chat. So a lot of questions. I really love it. I even can show it on the screen. So LLMs usually have a knowledge cutoff, so they can't assist with updates to the latest version. Question is Amazon Q somehow solve this problem? Yeah, with latest updates.
Okay, so here we can just discuss what are the latest updates, first of all. But yes, there are cutoffs. There are cutoffs. I would expect. Uh, but one important thing I wanted to mention, and I'm always saying that on events when I'm talking about Amazon Q, because people sometimes asking, okay, we tried Q, for example, I don't know, in the February, and we didn't like it for this, and this. Uh, and I always saying, try now. Model is continuously evaluating. It is continuously improving. And actually, it's not just one model. It is several models. uh, and it is continuously improving. And well, uh, and this time I also returning to my last slide, saying you can try, you can install Amazon Q and try it with some latest things you need to check. Ask what is the latest version you can do for this particular framework, or just move or transform this one or refactor this one to the latest version. I don't know. The feeling is believing, and this is also my strong believing.
Okay, okay, good. Good to hear. Question from Ara. Hi, Anton. Thanks for the presentation. Could you please provide some statistics about quantity coverage of the tests of the transformed application? Can various test coverage metrics be significantly different from the initial and transformed application? So, how Amazon Q works with the test coverage?
uh, I would
I can.
presume.
While you think, I can give you an example. It's a story
Okay.
from my project. So recently, we've migrated to the newest version of Java, and in our project, we have a lot of Lombok. And I've migrated several records from Lombok to basically Java records, and I've changed coverage of the code from somewhere like 30% to 90. I'm not a Lombok hater, just for the record, but this is how it could be changed during the migration. So
Uh,
back to the question.
okay, back to the question. So important thing here. What I remember, what is mentioned in the documentation, that actually Q is using existing tests to test your application. So I can presume that tests should remain the same, and this is actually what we are expecting from application.
But they will be migrated as well, right?
Yes.
Tests. Okay.
Yeah, but actually another way, if you want to generate tests, it is another task. It is not task for transformation. Maybe you may the even before any refactoring, the first thing, what should you do, you need to check your unit test coverage, because yeah, okay, what is the process of refactoring? We're expecting application to work in the same way or better, maybe from performance perspective, at least, where we're expecting that logic will remain. The same thing here, where transformation, we expect that logic will remain. But before that, you can use, for example, developer agent and ask, please generate me additional unit tests, or just use a chat or something for this.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
mhm.
Yeah. Thanks for the answer. So one more question, I think really interesting one. So in case we have any dependencies in POM which are dependent on any license keys, will it work if we use Amazon Q for project upgrade?
Hate to say it, good question. I'm not sure. To say.
Okay. So yeah, I really love this one because if we have
Yeah,
some real dependency,
it is tricky one, and I will write it down and maybe return with it, because, uh, um, frankly speaking, it is one more thing. It is clearly mentioned in documentation that some things sometimes. Okay, we've seen beautiful example when everything was working perfectly, and everything. We ran transformation. After that, we ran our application in newer version, and it is working. But at some points we may have, mostly, which is clearly defined in documentation, that it works good with open source. Actually, yeah, good question. And yeah, it returned me to documentation. In documentation, it should be mentioned somewhere, or it was mentioned on some. I can find the source that it is works best for the open source, and for these particular license things or internal in-home things, you might need to do it manually.
okay, okay. Thanks for the answer.
So silver
Uh
bullet, but not the golden bullet, maybe. So let's say like this.
yeah. So anyway, there are some cases where you need to do something by yourself also. But yeah, great to have tool for like Pareto principle. So 80/20. So if we can migrate 80% of like our projects, so yeah.
Once again,
Uh
I'm sorry, Roman. It is very important to understand. It is still a system. So it
sure.
is helping you. It is taking burden from you. I don't know. If someone is expecting magic, well, This
Okay,
may be.
I think couple last questions. So one is, I think I saw it several times in the different chats. Are there any possibility to have this integrated into Eclipse?
Not at the moment. So at
Okay,
the
any
moment,
plans?
it is supporting JetBrains and VS Code. No
Okay,
comments. Frankly, I don't know. So
okay,
it is something. Please rely on uh, like announcements and well, reinvent is coming. Let's hope.
okay. Yeah. So guys, don't miss reinvent. And I think the last one also about privacy. So you already answered that it's encrypted, etc. Though there are still projects, companies who really, I would say, suspicious about privacy of their data. And if question is if there are any possibility to run Amazon Q somehow in house, so
Uh,
somehow on house server.
Answer is no. It is so endpoint is existing only in North Virginia, but there is a way to secure the connection. Amazon Q developer is supporting the private link. So and you can terminate the your connection inside VPC, virtual private cloud, and use private link to connect to Amazon Q. And in this case, your code may travel. For example, if you're having on premises network. This network is connected by secure channel to your VPC, and your VPC connected via private link to the um, Amazon Q endpoint. Your code, your data will go only through dedicated encrypted channels and never touch internet. So from VPC, it will travel through AWS backbone, not touching internet as well. So you can secure the whole path for your data.
Okay, okay, yeah, that's really great to have this opportunity. So I think that's it, Anton. Thank you very much. A whole bunch of questions. You answer all of them.
Yeah,
Thank you
thank
very
you.
much.
Yeah, some was challenging, and actually, I would appreciate if you will share the list with me because I'm collecting these questions and answers. Next time, I will be more prepared. So for
Okay, we
some,
can try. Also, guys, I want to tell you that on We Are Community platform, under each talk, we have a comment section, so you can post your questions if there are some which you want to have an answer there. We will for sure provide them to Anton and his answer in the same section. So don't miss it. Everything will be there. Anton, thank you very much again for such a great start of our conference. It was nice to have you. Hope to have you next conferences as well. Thank you very much.
thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Have a nice one.